Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I want to go over 5 different ways on how to avoid price tanking when it comes to selling your products on Amazon. Because price tanking, it's part of the game, it happens, but there are ways that you can mitigate from that happening and increasing your chances of selling your products through making a profit, not having to worry about break even or selling some of your products at a loss. But without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the video. Be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know what you guys think, alright? So when it comes to price tanking, it doesn't matter if it's wholesale, OA, RA, it can happen in any model whatsoever. The highest one it always seems to happen though is usually with online arbitrage. Usually with wholesale, you can have steady pricing and whatnot, but there will be some tanking from time to time. And it really comes down to basically, everybody looking at the same deal, at the same sale. And it also depends how easy it was to find that seller deal, right? So for example, especially with OA, if you see that Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Nike, all those websites are having a 40% off clearance aisle or whatever, then you can really expect for you and the other hundreds, if not thousands of other resellers are going to be looking at the same product, the same deals. Not to mention some of these sellers also have helpers, aka sourcers, whether it's people from here in the US or a VA from the Philippines or wherever. You can guarantee that with the added team and whatnot, that you're going to see a lot of tanking with the same type of deals, the same type of sales. So if you want to avoid tanking when it comes to certain deals and whatnot, then you either need to FBM those products ASAP or send them into FBA very quick, because otherwise, the tanking will start happening if it was an easy sale. Like let's say you go on the front page of a Nike deal, sale or whatever, you can guarantee that those products will basically tank because everybody's looking at the front page, nobody's looking at the back page, and so your chances of tanking basically increase. So hopefully try to avoid some of these sales, but like I said, if you can, try to FBM and you will lower your risk of your products tanking, because a lot of people are going to be tanking those products when they don't know what they're doing. It's just the bottom truth. Now, the second way that you can avoid, your products from tanking is double checking the keeper graphs, okay? And this is something that a lot of new sellers especially don't seem to understand, is that you need to look at that offer count on the charts, okay? If you see that the past history showed, 10 sellers steadily, 8, 9, 10, 11 max, but all of a sudden for the past week or so, you notice that it started going up to 12, 15, 18, 20. That's a huge red flag that's a huge red flag that product is going to tank, because it's just supply and demand, okay? The more there is of something, the lower demand there really is going to be for that product, unless it's something happened with that particular product, right? Let's say if it was toilet paper back in 2021 or something. Well, you can guarantee that the volume won't justify the price, so people will start lowering the price. They'll start tanking it. Everybody will start racing to the bottom, and then nobody's going to be making any money except for those who got in either super early on that product or decided to hold the bag and then sell out later at a profit. So always double check those keeper graphs. It's probably one of the best ways to avoid price tank listings, because when me and my team go through our products, if I see something started to rise with the seller count, I usually 99% of the time avoid those products unless it looks really good, and then we'll come back to it like a few months later. But you can best believe that the keeper charts will be your best bet in avoiding your products tanking, okay? Because if you're not looking at that seller count carefully, next thing you know, there's like 100, 200 plus people on listings, and they just get super crazy from that point, all right? Now, the third way to avoid, price tanking in Amazon is always keep an eye out for those restricted brands that come out of nowhere, where Amazon 1 minute will allow you guys to sell products, and then the next minute, boom, you get the email that this particular brand got really restricted and you have like a month to sell out of your inventory. So this actually happened recently with the brand known as Coach, a luxury brand. I personally don't sell Coach, but I've seen a bunch of sellers who posted this, on Twitter and IG and whatnot. And usually when Amazon sends out an email, saying that they're going to restrict a certain brand, you can best believe sellers who were on those listings are going to start tanking those prices, because, you have a month to sell out. And so everybody's just trying to get rid of their inventory, get their cash flow back, and then just put it into something else. If you're ever on any of these type of brands, then you better liquidate as much as possible, because everybody's going to be basically tanking those type of products. Now, you may not be able to avoid it completely, because some products probably will tank faster than others. It just depends on the velocity and whatnot. But do your best to just liquidate, because at that point, there's really no saving that those type of brands, those type of listings. So definitely be careful of those type of brands. It doesn't happen very often, but from time to time it will happen, and this is very high, especially in like the beauty category. So if you're gonna sell beauty products, just be aware of the risk that comes with some of these brands, because some of them are getting more strict with people selling their products on Amazon, and that's something you really need to take into consideration, because otherwise you'll go too deep, get burned out, and you'll lose a lot of money. So just be careful. Now, the fourth way to avoid price taking on Amazon, and this is probably a big one that a lot of you guys need to know, especially if you're just a beginner right now, is avoiding lead lists as much as possible. If you plan on buying a lead list, make sure you use it for deeper research, like checking out different storefronts that you may have never heard of, different brands you may have never heard of, and sourcing from outside of the leads that are provided on those lists. Because if you buy the products that are on these lead lists, guys, 9 out of 10 times they're going to tank unless you're one of the first to get in and out. But yeah, chances are if you decide to FBA these products, they're gonna tank by the time they get into the warehouses, by the time they get checked in, FC transferred, and all that. So do be careful with these lead lists, okay? This is why I never preach anybody really trying to get a lead list, because it's not gonna solve your problems when it comes to sourcing, especially if you're just buying the leads that they provide, okay? Because trust me, I've been on $10 lead list groups, 20, 50, 100, 200, and a lot of the times they always tanked, okay? Like it's inevitable when it comes to lead lists. And it's normal because it doesn't matter if it's just one seller that's providing this lead list, like I mentioned way earlier in the video. If everybody and their team is sourcing those same deals, they're gonna tank regardless, okay? And not to mention that some people will probably exchange some leads from their lead list with other lead lists, and then you have a bunch of more people looking at the same product even more. And so, just try to avoid them altogether. Like I said, if you decide to get on a lead list, please use it for research purposes only, and do not buy the leads on those lead lists, because you guys are going to get hurt. Trust me, I've been there with that. And so I'm just telling you from experience, okay? But this is probably one of the best ways to avoid your products getting tanked, because trust me, they will tank. I've seen it, and it's not pretty. Now, the fifth and last way to avoid your products tanking on Amazon is by avoiding some of these leads again that are provided through Discord, Twitter, or Instagram, okay? And especially Twitter. That's where I'm mainly seeing a lot of this stuff happening, where you'll see influencers talk about, I found this product, it sells 1,000 units a month, $5 minimum profit, comment down below, FBA, and I'll shoot you the lead. You must like and follow me, blah, 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 all that stuff. Please don't follow or buy those leads from these particular sellers. 9 out of 10 times, they're just doing it to upsell you to their course, Discord, and whatnot. And so, because when you buy those leads, you're going to realize that, holy crap, hundreds of other people also got the same lead. So, it's going to take no doubt, all right? But it could also help if you just outsource from that lead that they're providing as well. So you can definitely do something like that. But 9 out of 10 times, or probably even 10 out of 10 times, you can bet that particular lead that they found is going to tank. It's gonna just come running down. So please do your best to not purchase those leads. Don't get too overhyped, because you see the margins and whatnot. Like I said, these guys are just out here to upsell you on their course, Discord, and whatnot, and they're not really helping you out in that much aspect, because otherwise they wouldn't be giving you this lead to you and thousands of other people, right? It just makes no sense whatsoever. So just please be careful if you plan on doing this. But without further ado, guys, that's all my tips on how to avoid price tanking on Amazon. Now keep in mind, these are just ways to mitigate that. At the end of the day, there's just times when it can still happen, which sucks. But like I said in the beginning, it's just part of the game. It's just part of selling. It's gonna happen no matter if you're just a beginner, intermediate seller, or a very experienced seller. Okay, I'm making 6-figure a month, and it still happens from time to time. So again, it's just part of the game. You just need to be careful with handling how you're managing it. It just comes down to how you manage it. How you deal with these losses. So please be careful. Like I said, these are the best ways to avoid it. But again, they're not 100% guaranteed, but it's the best way to avoid it regardless. But without further ado, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'm out. Peace.